Hopefully you can see this. All right, so this homework 10 question. So I've got a, let's say, well, undo that. I have a container and it's 500 milliliters. That's what the line here says, 500 milliliters. What's that, 500 milliliters? Oops. Okay, so I want 500 milliliters of stuff. And I have this other container over here. And this is 4 liters. So that's 4,000 milliliters. And this stuff here has a concentration of 16 molar. And this stuff over here, I won't only want it to have a concentration of 0.75 molar. So this is dilute. So I want to take this concentrated stuff and I want to dilute it down. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a small amount of this and add it to this container. And then we're going to fill up with water. That way we've diluted the solution down. Maybe I should do that. So a little bit of this, and then the rest of this is water. So how do I know? The question for all of these dilution equations is, how much of this stuff do I need? All right, so the equation is the molarity of what I have and the volume what I have, molarity of what I want, and the volume of what I want. Okay, so I know from the problem, I know I want 500 milliliters, and I know I want 0.75 molar. I also know I've got 16 molar. What I don't know is, I know I have this 4 liters, but I'm not going to use all 4 liters. So the question is, how much of this stuff do I need? So then I'm just going to rearrange this and say volume is going to be equal to the concentration I want times the volume I want divided by the concentration I have. So that's going to be 0.75 molar. And then it's going to be 500 milliliters. And then the concentration I have is 16 molar. So what that allows me to do is now I can cancel out the M's. And then the only thing I've got left for units is milliliters. All right. And sorry, looking for my phone. There we go. So, oops, wrong one. So it's just 0.75 times 500 divided by 16. All right, and so that gives me, looks like 2 significant figures for this problem. And so then 23 would be my answer. All right, so that's part of the problem. The rest of the problem is explaining how to do it. So step 1 will be get a 500 milliliter volumetric flask, because that's how we make solutions. So step 1 always has to be that, to get that container, because you might not have that container. Maybe you've got 1,000 milliliter container. So make sure you've got the 500. So get that 500 milliliter container. And the next thing we always do is calculate volume of concentrate. Okay, we did that, 23 milliliters. So then this is an acid. So what I'm going to do is add some water, say 1/4 full, to 500 milliliter container. Because we always have to add acid to water. We don't put acid in a container and then add water to it, because it causes a bunch of splashing and splattering. So then step 4 is going to be add 23 milliliters of 16 molar nitric acid to 500 milliliter container. Okay. And then the next step is fill near line with water. And the last step is fill 2 line with dropper. Okay, so the reason we have to do that is this is a terrible drawing, but my best job I can do. This is what a volumetric flask looks like. And it's got a line on it, and that volumetric flask will say something like, in this case, 500.0 milliliters. So this flask is really good at measuring 500 milliliters, but it can't measure anything else because it's only got one increment on it. So if I zoom in on this, I got a line that says 500 milliliters. What I need to happen is when I fill this up, there's going to be a little bit of curvature, and this is called the meniscus, and the bottom of the meniscus needs to touch that line. And that's why I use a dropper, literally like a little pipette dropper water, because what would happen is if I accidentally made it do that, it was here, then I have to start all over because I can't pull water out without also pulling out nitric acid. So I don't want to go over. So that's why I fill it to like here with the water, and then I use the dropper to get it to land right on the line. That's it. I'll upload this and email it to you. So